All right, so in quiz 383, you're asked to find area of a triangle, or it's entitled area of a triangle. The area is the number of square units contained in the interior. Okay, so the number of square units contained in the interior. And the area, just as a quick review, the area of a rectangle is length times width, or you could also think of it as the base times height. So for this rectangle, the area is going to be the length or the base of 10 times the height of 7, which would be 70 units squared. We don't know what our units are, whether they are inches or feet. So 70 units squared. Now, let's say that we're given a shape that has similar measurements, but it's a triangle. So here we have this lovely triangle, and it measures 10 by 7. What is the area of the triangle? Well, if we look at this, it looks very similar to the rectangle we just found the area for. So we could, based off of this similarity in our diagrams, if we extend that triangle out through the base and the height, then its area will be 10 times 7. That's base times height. But it's not the full rectangle, it is only half of it. So we also need to multiply it by 1/2. That would give us 70 times 1/2 is 35 units squared. So an area of a triangle is the base times height times 1/2. So let's try this with a different triangle. One that doesn't look so, excuse me, doesn't fit so well with our rectangle. Okay, so let's say that we have a triangle that's a little more, excuse me, slanted. Okay, so this has measurements. This measurement through there is 5, and this one across here is 12. So we want to find the area of this triangle. This still really becomes like a rectangle. We have that. We can do this, and it kind of extends it out for us to create a rectangle. So we're going to do the same idea. We're going to do base times height. So the area is equal to our base times height times half of the rectangle. So 12 times 5 is 60. That times 1/2 is 30. So we have 30 units squared. All right, so let's take a look at our next. Oh, I know why this picture looks so funny. I'm sorry, guys. So yes, that's 5. What they usually do to make it more obvious that it's half is something like that, I feel. I don't know. I'm just going to erase this. I'll think about that. If you can think of a better way to draw it so it looks more clearly like 1/2, bonus points to you, but the bonus points don't matter. Okay, so here we have a triangle. Okay, so this is drawn in here. It's the altitude of the triangle, so we can get the height, which is 6. The base is 11, and we want to find the area of this triangle. So this one we can extend through like that. You can see that these two, this triangle on this side is half of that one, and this triangle is half of this rectangle. So the two combined create half of the larger rectangle. This one makes sense. So we're going to do the same thing and find the area equals base times height times 1/2. So that's 66 times 1/2, which is 33. Okay, so there are a few examples of finding the area of a triangle. Now let's say that you were already given the area. The area of a triangle is 42 square units. Okay. So we are told that the area equals 42 square units. Okay, if the base is 7 units, what is the height? So there's two approaches. We could do some mental math and we could use some algebraic math. So let's just mental math this. Base equals 7 units. Okay, so mental math tells me that the base of 7 times what number equals 42? Well, 7 times 6 is 42. So 6 must be my height, but remember that we always take a half. So 6 actually isn't my height. 6 is half of the height. So that means height needs to be twice the amount of 6, which is 12. If that's mental math, just kind of thinking through it. Algebraically, we could say that area equals 40, since the area equals 42, we could say 42 is equal to my base times my height times 1/2. And we can go through and we could solve this. So we're going to divide by 7. I'm going to divide by 1 at a time. So that gives me 6 equals h times 1/2. Now I divide by 1/2. 6 divided by 1/2 is 12. So there are two methods for finding the height of your triangle. And this is all of 3.8.3. If you have any other questions, let me know.